you ever been interested in a subject, but were too afraid to tell people about it for fear of being judged? I know I have. So tonight, I'm going to talk about something that's often seen as a bit of a taboo. It's a subject that I've been interested in a while, but haven't really told many people about it. So to tell a room full of people is quite daunting. That topic, Shibari, also known as Japanese rope bondage. And I know what some of you are thinking. Paul, I don't want to hear about that kinky ass shit that you're into. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to challenge your perception. I'm going to unravel the web surrounding Shibari and reveal why it's one of the greatest hobbies that you've probably never even heard of. Let's imagine for a minute that you're a criminal on the run in Japan in the 1600s. And eventually you get caught by the police, and rather than bind your hands with handcuffs, they tie you with rope. And then that same rope is later used to torture you. Over the years, this tying style develops and it moves away from being a tool for torture into a sensual stage performance. And then in about the 1980s, it finds its way west and gets picked up by some subcultures. But thanks to movies like 50 Shades of Grey, people think that rope bondage is all about the sexual side, that it's just used as a means to an end. But it is so much more than that. Shibari translates literally to tie decoratively. And it's not just about tying the knot. It's also about the connection that you have with the partner, creating an experience. It can be anything from soft and sensual to swift and sadistic. And I'm sure many people in this room have an interest that they use to switch off from the world. Something that puts you into a meditative-like state, allows you to relax and calm down. Perhaps painting, reading, writing. Some people find that same state through rope bondage. And it's quite there's quite a lot of vulnerability that's shown by the person that's being tied. But it's that vulnerability that allows them to connect to their partner on a much deeper level than most traditional pastimes. But with the vulnerability does come some inherent risks. And the ultimate risk potentially being death. Much like in climbing, you're literally putting your life on the line and having somebody else hold the rope. As an example, in your arm you have the radial nerve, which extends down the arm and into the wrist. If you were to tie too tightly around this for too long, you could end up causing serious long-term damage, such as wrist drop, where you literally cannot use your hand anymore. Well, you might be able to slap the person around the face who caused it, but it's going to be pretty useless for everything else. Now, Shibari often starts with 8-metre lengths of rope. These are chosen for the ease of handling and speed when using. Then a tie will start off by wrapping it round a body part, and it will be tied in such a way that the knot can't get any tighter, but circulation is still possible. Then after that, the rope will be passed around the body, and when it interlaces with another piece of rope, they're woven together in such a way to create friction. This friction locks it together, providing structural integrity to the tie, but also can be used as a bit of embellishment. And much like with cooking, you start off with some basic ingredients, mix them all together, and then hopefully create something beautiful. Those are the basic ingredients for Shibari, simplified somewhat. But like I was saying earlier, it's about creating a connection with your partner. And it's not just about the physical act of tying the knot. It's about creating an experience, exploring the sensations, the sights, the smells, the emotion behind the tying. And if you imagine, for example, that somebody's tying you, and they're up close in your personal space, looking you deep in the eyes as they tie you, then that could be quite a sensual and intimate experience. But if they were doing the exact same tying, just standing behind you, so you can't see them, and you don't have that same contact, it could be now a distant and disconnected experience. Shibari doesn't need to be something that's shocking or scary. Many people in this room probably enjoy being wrapped up in a nice warm blanket, and some people find that same comfort being wrapped in rope. There's so much more out there in the world to go and explore if you're just willing to try. So I want to challenge your ideas of what you think physical intimacy and contact's about, and don't be bound by ideas of what you think that it should be. I'd love to do a demonstration, but unfortunately 6 minutes was never going to be enough time. But if you're interested, come speak to me afterwards. But if anybody asks you, you'll just have to tell them that you got a little tied up tonight.